Okay, so today we're going to work on this part, those leaves here, and this is a nice color. So I probably what we all have, well, prism violet, which is a really beautiful purple that has red in it, and raw umber and white. Now, if you don't have prism violet, ultramarine, violet, a bit of a bit of alizarin crimson, raw umber, and white, that will work. Also, dioxazine purple, alizarin crimson, raw umber, and white will work. So this is easier using prism violet and adding raw umber to prism violet to make it earthy. And then we're going to add white. And we can add as much as we want raw umber in here. And this will make it more earthier. So if we see the leaves that have more brown in them, all we have to do is add more brown. So I'm going to start with the first one, because the ones in the back, actually, we can start with the ones in the back, but they need cadmium red light, the ones in the back. Let's start with this one here. Yeah, this one here. Here. It's the one on top. I'm using a round brush. You can use any brush you like, any brush that works for you. Okay. Now I'm going to start highlighting this, because I like to highlight while the paint is still wet. It blends nicely. I'm going to start taking white, putting the white in here. And I have a little bit more burnt raw umber in here, not burnt, raw umber. So I'm going to start from this part, softly. Because the blending is nicer when the paint is wet. Softer. You don't get hard edges. I'm going to take a little bit of raw umber in here and white. So when I push the raw umber, I'm pushing it into the color I have before, prism violet and raw umber, but I'm pushing in more of the raw umber. More highlight on this side. And again, of course, the acrylic dries darker. So I'm putting more white. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush, round. Give it a little bit of a texture. Not much, just kind of some of the texture I'm seeing in there. Just kind of thin lines, light color. And I'm going to take a bit of, now at this point, raw umber. Put in a tiny touch of prism, very small amount, and darken this part. There's a nice, beautiful movement here. There. Okay. Just let it dry so we can highlight it more if you want. But I'm going to let it dry for now. There's another one behind it, or over here on this side. And it's really dark. So I'm going to take raw umber and prism. This prism is drying blue. Like it has a blue, bit of a blue color in it. I thought it was going to dry more red. Just prism and raw umber. Nothing else. Gonna let it dry. I'm just gonna adding a little bit of white. I'm gonna have to go through over this one more time. I'm just gonna wait for it to dry and then go over it one more time. I don't know why this is longer than what's in the reference. Do you have the same?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I think that it's the width of the canvas. It's okay. I'm just gonna let it go like that. That's fine. All right. I'm gonna stop for a minute.
The colors are?
Yes, colors are right here. So that's what I'm using right now. Alizarin crimson. I'm gonna take a little bit of raw umber, put it in here. I feel like it's safer to do that from just using alizarin crimson, and put the color on. This one here too. That's the same leaf. It's a big one. All right, and now it's easier for me to grab the smaller brush and give this leaf a kind of a darker color here, because this one is casting a shadow over this, over the one underneath. So I'm just using raw umber for the shadow over. And just kind of when we're away from that leaf, I'm going to add a tiny bit of the red, which is alizarin crimson, in here, in this area. Go all the way. And now I'm going to take cadmium red light, mix it with alizarin crimson. It is alizarin crimson that has already a little bit of raw umber, and I'm going to come here. I'm going to highlight this one a bit because that's too dark. I keep forgetting, I keep repeating that acrylic dries darker, and then I forget. Okay, there we go.
What's that little piece that you left uncovered?
All right, so this piece here?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the light from coming through from this part, and it's shining right there.
But it's the same leaf.
It's the same leaf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm just confused.
No, it's okay, no problem. Okay, so let's go back and kind of darken this a bit. At least kind of get the right value in here. All right, good. All right, we're gonna go now to the other side, which is, again, we can use alizarin crimson, a little bit of raw umber, and that will be good. And let's highlight this with a bit of red, cadmium red light. Once we start adding the rest of the leaves, it will make more sense. They look a bit funny right now, but when we add all of them, they will look better. Do you want me to stop?
No. No.
No?
No.
Keep going?
Yes, please.
All right. So now I'm going to go to the next one underneath. Let's get the right brush. It's the same thing. So almost, if you look at your reference, it's almost the same kind of value. Like, can't tell where the leaves are in this area, right? But
so that's
the one under.
alizarin and brown.
Yes, alizarin and raw amber.
Alizarin and
raw amber. Raw amber.
Yeah.
Leave a little bit of a line so you'll know where those leaves are. You know, you kind of a mark there, a line where it tells you. And then we can darken once we get those leaves done, highlighted, then we can darken in between, the line in between. Or what we can do, actually I'll darken them after, it's easier. Okay, now let's take again cadmium red light, bring it into the alizarin and mixture of alizarin and raw amber. And let's start highlighting this one.
All together the colors?
Cadmium red light right now mixed into the alizarin crimson and the raw amber right there. Oh, keep it down here.
Is it orange?
No, it's cadmium red light. It looks like orange, but it's not.
Okay. On the screen it looks orange.
Yes, yes. This is yes. Orange is cadmium red light is always like this. It looks orange on the screen because of the light also, because there's a strong light. But this is orange. This is orange right there.
Yeah.
Now, there is a strong dark behind this leaf that separates the one underneath from the top one. Because both of them are the same kind of value, we can just leave this line showing. instead of darkening again more underneath here to separate them. I would leave it just showing more, like that very thin red line. I'm going to put a bit of raw umber in this cadmium red light, just to make it a little bit more earthy. Okay. We can glaze it also after. If we find that it's too red, we can glaze it with raw umber to give it that brown look. But I think it's okay. I think it will be fine. Right now, you're seeing it this way because whatever is right next to it is really red. So it's the same, it's blending. But once we start adding the other colors, which are not red, it will change. Okay, I'm going to stop for a minute.
Okay.
All right, so now let's work on this one here. I am mixing a bit of that prism violet, alizarin crimson, right?
Yeah.
Prism violet, alizarin crimson, raw umber. And I'm going to paint this one here. And now I'm going to start highlighting. So I'm going to take a little bit of white. And this white, once I put it in, it will tell me what I need. If I need more of the brown or red, and I'm putting in brown. So raw umber, more raw umber in here. Just to make it more earthy. And I'm going to come here, start highlighting. Let's take a smaller brush. I'll take more white, put it in here. And I'm going to just put a bit of highlight right here.
What color is that?
That's just white. I'm adding white to the same color I used here. I used in the area here, which is it was prism violet, alizarin crimson, and raw umber. And now this is drying darker. Yes, it's drying darker. So I'm going to grab a bit of more white. And again, once I put white, you see it. You can see it becomes pink. It looks pink.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So let's put some raw umber, and the raw umber would be perfect, and it will make it more earthy. I'm gonna add more white, and I'm gonna come here again. Jeez, that is really strong, but that's okay. I mean, it's gonna dry darker. Let's darken a little bit this part. A little bit, not much. And again, I'm going to take white, put it in, and highlight this part. Okay, I don't want to take too much. I mean, this is a bit too much right now. This too big, but it's okay. I mean, let's try. And kind of, I'm just trying now to adjust the highlight. All right, let's keep it like that. Let it dry. All right, I'm going to stop. All right, so we're done for this week. Next week we'll keep working on this part here. And we only finished 4 leaves. We have another 4 to go.